It is super early right now. It is also freezing, but we're on our way to the DMV. Fortunately, we're not gonna be taking the M3 because, well, I don't wanna take the M3 downtown, so we're gonna be taking the X5. I already remote started this car, but oh, why is my AC on? What the heck? Before you guys call me a baby, it's literally like 34 degrees right now. But yeah, anyways, guys, we are on our way to the DMV to finally register, hopefully register the Supra. If you guys saw in a recent video, I went to go get this thing registered at a like express plate place, but they wanted an extra 115 bucks on top of what's stinging. Outside temperature, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what it's telling me. Anyways, they wanted 115 bucks on top of what you normally pay to register these cars. And honestly, I'm done spending money on the Supra. I've spent a lot on it, and I'll actually tell you guys exactly how much I've spent on the Supra, because although I bought it for 28K, and I know you guys know that, I've spent a lot of money on these parts so far, and it's not over yet. I think we got through the most expensive stuff. So I'll tell you guys the entire cost breakout for everything and how much I've spent so far. We'll see if this really is still a good deal, or if I've just overpaid at this point to a point where I would have just been better off getting a clean one. Who knows? But anyways, right now, guys, I'm gonna head out to the DMV. I will keep you guys posted. Not really much to film while there, but hopefully the next clips you'll see me with some license plates for the Supra. And then who knows, maybe when we get back, we'll just take it for a drive, because why not? All right, before we keep on going, I just want to pause the video to let you guys know that Simply Carbon Fiber is having a massive Black Friday sale. They have up to 70% off store-wide. And one of the things that's on sale right now, and you guys already know I absolutely love this thing, is their Forged Carbon, Real Carbon phone cases. Now, normally I just show you guys the color that I'm usually rocking, which is typically gold or red, but since they have a massive sale going on, I want to show you guys all the colors. So right over here, we have a green, purple, gold or yellow, red, and blue. You guys already know gold and red are my favorite, but I know a lot of people are a fan of blue. My wife loves the purple, and the green kind of matches the M3, which is pretty cool. And remember, guys, these are real forged carbon. Just look how good they look in the sun. They look absolutely stunning. Since I don't usually show you guys these colors, look how good the purple looks. Honestly, I've kind of been sleeping on the purple. Maybe I'll rock this one for a little bit. Although I'm not gonna lie, the yellow or gold is probably still one of my favorite ones. I don't know, there's just too many colors to pick from. So if you guys want to take advantage of the Black Friday sale, there'll be some links and promo codes down in the description below, as well as the pinned comment, so go take advantage. But anyways, with that said, let's get back into the video. That was the most bizarre experience I've ever had at the DMV, guys, but we finally got the license plates. And there was something with the insurance that was really strange, but before I tell you guys what happened, let me just switch to the normal camera, because I can't even see what I'm recording, so I'm probably like missing my face. But let's switch over to the normal camera. So when I got there, I had the insurance card, all that type of stuff. My insurance card showed from December 23 to December 24, 2024, I mean. So obviously that kind of falls in line with my normal insurance policy, but the lady gave me a hard time. She was like, you can't use that. And I was like, but what do you mean? It shows that the car's insured today. It's November 14th today. That date's within that range. And she was like, no, well, your insurance card has to be within 180 days, which is such a silly rule. Whatever, she wasn't gonna register the car. So I had to call my insurance company while at the DMV. And when I got on the phone with them and I told them, they're like, well, doesn't it show that it's insured as of today as well? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, so isn't that good? I was like, apparently not. Even the insurance person was like baffled by that rule. I don't know if it's a New York thing. Either way, guys, at this point, I don't really care too much, because I got my registration, I got my plates. We're gonna go home, we're gonna put them on the Supra, and I'll tell you guys exactly how much I've paid for this car so far, because unfortunately, it's more than I would have liked. You guys probably don't realize just how much this entire process has stressed me out. Being stuck with this rebuilt car, not knowing if I was gonna be able to register, if I was gonna be able to officially drive it on the road. But today, that all changes. We finally get to put a license plate on this thing. And in honor of that, we're gonna take this thing out for a drive. So as soon as I started driving, guys, I got the chassis malfunction warning, which I thought would have been resolved. That ride height level sensor bracket thing that I installed. So we're gonna have to figure that out. But regardless, it's still exciting to finally drive the Supra again. I haven't driven it in quite a while. Last time I drove it, what I think was to the inspection, which was at this point like 3 weeks ago. So it's definitely been some time, guys. But yeah, like I said, this has honestly been a super... Oh, I forgot how bad these tires are. Yeah, this has been a super stressful process. Like the whole idea of buying a car and then not being able to register it. And remember guys, like I had a title, but I had to send it in, like the original title. So really, I was stuck without a title, and I was worried it would get lost in the mail, or they would deny it and they would like shred the title. I don't know. My mind was just going everywhere. So it's been a super stressful process. Thankfully, it is now officially over. I feel so good, man. I remember when I first discovered all this, like, remember guys, I bought this car back in August. We are halfway through November. It's been a while, but as I'm driving this, I'm realizing more and more how much I really need to get some better tires. But yeah, man, look, I'm not gonna rant about what it was. It was stressful, but at the end of the day, it's now done. Like, we don't have to worry about that anymore. The car is registered, the car is insured, the car has a license plate. Like, we are good. We can just focus on fixing this thing up. I actually have a big item coming. Well, actually, it's in. It's a really big item. You guys can probably guess what it is. So this car is gonna look so much better. I'm already working with Keys Motorsports on a whole bunch of stuff for it. So not only are we gonna fix it and make it look normal again, but we're also gonna make it look better, and we're gonna make it perform better. This car is still a deal at the end of the day, but you know, we have spent a good amount of money on it. And once we get back, I'll give you guys a total cost breakout of everything and all that. Oh man, I love this car. This thing is so much fun to drive. By the way, there's a chassis malfunction light. I'm wondering if I can maybe just code that out, like clear it, and then it'll go away or something. I don't know. So as excited as I am to drive this car, it did remind me just how much it needs quite a bit. So it was supposed to be a fun drive turned into a stressful one because that chassis code. I thought I really fixed it with that bracket for the ride height leveling sensor. So I don't know, maybe it just needs programming, maybe we just need to reset it or something and clear the code, and I don't know. We're gonna figure that out another time. But right now, I promise you guys, I'm gonna tell you exactly how much I paid for this Supra and all the parts that I bought for it so far. Now, do keep in mind, guys, we are not done yet. We still have a lot more to buy for the car. I think I got through most of the big stuff, at least for now. And then the other thing I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm excluding like typical costs. So anything like, you know, just registering your car or paying taxes, that's all standard. I want to know things that are just like specific to this Supra, because that's what I'm really trying to compare it to. Like, did I get a good deal, or should I have just bought a clean one? So let's start off with the simple one, and that is the price of the car itself. I've mentioned it a few times, but in case you guys missed it, I paid $28,000 for this car. Originally, the guy was asking like 31 grand. He told me some things that were wrong with it, and he wasn't lying, but there's also a lot more that he didn't tell me. To name off a few, one, the car only has one key. Second, the blind spot monitoring wasn't working. Third, I mean, just a whole bunch of messy stuff around the car, like splash panels missing, trims broken or missing. This is what I'm gonna have to figure out, is the headliner. You guys can see it's hanging off right over there. So yeah, that's something he did not tell me about. So I'm probably gonna have to get a new headliner as well. So regardless, the kid was asking 31 grand, brought him down to 28 because I still really did want the car. And to me, I thought it'll all just be good content and just more for us to do on the channel. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is something you guys haven't seen yet and I already hinted at, but I'm gonna spoil it right over here because I do want to talk about it. It's an expensive thing, the hood. So this hood is an aftermarket carbon fiber hood. As you guys can tell, it's completely faded. It's even been getting stained by leaves, which is really funny to see. But the point is, I'm replacing this with an OEM hood because not only is this one faded, but it also fits horribly. So a lot of people say, well, why don't you just refinish this one? That's why, guys, because the fitment is just really off. So the new hood, because I bought it OEM from Toyota, literally brand new, it was roughly $1,100. That price may vary because I actually haven't picked it up yet. You guys will see that in the next video. So already we're at a grand total of $29,100 for this car. But that carbon hood, I'm actually gonna sell. So we should get about like $650 for it or so. So all the money that I'm getting back, I'm actually going to subtract from the total price. So that brings us down to $28,450. But now something I have no idea how much it's gonna cost yet is painting that hood. That could be like another 600 bucks right there in itself because these hoods are massive. So the next thing is the ride height level sensor bracket. That was thankfully only about 17 bucks. But then also I bought the sway bar end links. I bought the left and the right because the left was bad, the right was going bad. Anyways, those were 83 bucks. That makes for nice simple math. That's another 100 bucks onto the total price of this car. Now the next one is kind of on me, kind of on the previous owner, but mainly on me. And that was this mirror glass. So because the blind spot monitoring wasn't working, if I never made it clear, it was actually not working because the kid just never plugged it in, or the body shop that did the work, whoever did it, they never plugged it in. so it was not working for that reason. So I did have to take this thing off, and unfortunately while taking it off, it completely shattered and it broke, so I had to get a replacement one, which cost me $134. Obviously that one's on me. I kind of broke it like an idiot. I was rushing. But what I will say though is if the blind spot monitoring was plugged in from the get-go, I would have never had to take it off and it never would have broke. So I'm sharing the blame on that one. So the next one is one I never talked about, and it's the AC assembly. So you guys probably noticed it in a video or two here or there. Something in the interior is broken and I couldn't just replace that one piece. I had to get a whole replacement. By the way, this is also something else we're gonna have to spend money on because, yeah. Anyways, we're not gonna focus on that one for now. But the thing I had to get was this entire assembly right over here. This is for the AC vents because inside the car currently, this piece is broken and there's no real easy way to get just that one piece. That assembly ended up costing me about like $76 because I got it used off of eBay. And then honestly guys, it ended up being broken as well. Thankfully though, I just hit my head on the door. Thankfully though, it was broken in a different place. So you guys can see right over here, this piece is broken. So the piece that stays on here and goes up and down can't even attach this because that whole thing is just snapped off. So I had to replace the entire thing. Now the piece that's broken on that one can hopefully be swapped out with the piece that's good on this one. We're gonna have to basically combine the two. So let's put this thing down before it falls down and slams on its own. The next place we want to go to is the front end. So a few things here. One, this little grill insert, that was 40 bucks brand new from Toyota. Not too bad, but a lot considering it's just plastic. Oh, and speaking of just plastic, you guys want to laugh? So inside the engine bay, there's these two massive plastic pieces, which this car of course was missing because I guess the kid just never bothered to get it. And I'm finally starting to understand why. So this piece as well as this one right over here, guys, I bought these used off eBay, and mind you, one of them actually turned out to be cracked. So didn't even get a great pair of them, but I paid $305 for those two. That's insane. It's just plastic. I understand that they're large pieces and it has some like nuance to them, like says Supra and all that, but I still even need the hardware for it. So $305 just for those plastic pieces without even the hardware. But anyways, another thing is this rubber piece, which I couldn't find my receipt for it for some reason, but it was about like 30 bucks, I want to say. Let's just say 30 bucks. So $335 for all the plastics and stuff inside this engine bay, which is pretty crazy. Another thing we bought was these reflectors. I got these pretty cheaply off of AliExpress or Alibaba. They're only like 10 bucks. And then the last thing you guys can't really see that I spent money on so far, if at least I'm remembering everything, because I could be forgetting a whole bunch of stuff, was coating. I paid Coating Dynamics 100 bucks to do some of that coating for me. So we have to take that into account as well, of course. Oh, and then speaking of, another fee that we had to pay specifically for this Supra because it was rebuilt was the safety inspection fee, which was $205. The reason why I'm including that and not like things like normal inspections and registrations is because that was specific to this car in the sense that if I just got a clean Supra, I wouldn't have had to pay that. That's only for a rebuilt car, so I'm counting it in the price for this one. So now if my math is right and I didn't forget anything, which I wouldn't be surprised if I did, we spent about $29,410. But something you guys didn't know is the catless downpipe that used to be in this car, I actually ended up selling it because I'm not gonna run a catless downpipe for a whole bunch of reasons, but regardless, I sold it and I got about 120 bucks for it, which was probably a really good deal for that kid who bought it. But since it came with the car, I'm gonna kind of, you know, put that in our favor. So in the end, we spent $29,290, which isn't bad because we only spent an additional net $1,290 from the original price of the car. So I said this before and I'll say it again, guys. That doesn't mean that it's the end. That doesn't mean that this is the final price. We still have to do a whole bunch more. We have to paint the hood, which is probably gonna be like another, I'm gonna ballpark maybe like 600 bucks or so. We need to do some more coating, figure out more issues, probably replace that headliner, which I'm assuming is going to be a little more expensive. So this isn't the final price, but it's something that I wanted to calculate for myself because I keep on thinking like, did I do the smart thing by getting this rebuilt Supra? Not just the headache that we've gone through and I expressed to you guys how much I hated, but in terms of price. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, but also stay tuned to the next video because we're getting that very big thing, which I kind of already gave away. It's the hood, guys. We're getting the hood for the Supra. That should be an interesting video and you guys will see why. But anyways, with that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop it a like. It helps me out big time, like way more than you realize. And with that said, this video is pretty much done. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.